Aria of a Starless Night was a great film, especially if you're an SAO fan. Besides just being a great film in general, this movie really did a lot to push the envelope for the series and reignite some of that vigor and energy from the early days of being an SAO fan. So looking forward and seeing that the SAO Scherzo of a Dark Dusk film is on the horizon, I think it's only fair that building off the success of the film, we talk about a couple of things that I think will be exciting in the next movie. So here we go, 5 things I'm looking forward to in SAO Scherzo of a Dark Dusk. Let's jump into it. Number 1, Asuna and Kirito. Okay, I know, this one's a bit of an easy one, and if you've seen my review on Aria of a Starless Night, then you know I don't read the light novels at all, so all of this is pontificating. So I'm really just about to do some more of that throughout this whole video. Pontificating. So the end of Aria of a Starless Night leaves us with Kirito and Asuna ascending to the 2nd floor together and staring out into the vastness of a forest, an untouched landscape that we've never seen before. The original anime jumps from floor 1 to floor 11, so there's a lot of unknowns about what these two get up to in the time in between, and we know that events are different this time around, so there's no guarantee that anything Kirito and Asuna will do now will result in us seeing a faithful recreation of later episodes of the anime. Which is fine, so here's my hope. I'd like to see Asuna and Kirito really flesh things out, like take the time to explore this land together and really spearhead the effort in learning about these floors, and in doing so, share a bunch of cute character moments. We know from the trailer that they at least make it to floor 5, so there should be room to get this character development in. That being said, my favorite parts of Aria were between Kirito and Asuna. Think the bread and cream scene, the bathhouse, and the conversations they had in between. SAO is at its best when these two are on screen, so as good as Mito was, as well as the narrative weight that Asuna's brief time alone was in the first movie, I'd like this one to focus on building the bond between Kirito and Asuna, as things were really only getting started by the end of Aria. Number 2, no Yui. Look, I love Yui, especially in season 1, but Yui needs to come later. This film, in my opinion, needs to be all about Kirito and Asuna. Like my previous point, the strongest scenes in this franchise are when these two are together and on screen at the same time. And if we're going to build to those moments, then we need to see those moments grow between them and no one else. This might be an easy ask, since Yui isn't introduced until later in the first season of the anime, and not at least until floor 22, at that point when Kirito and Asuna move in together. But for any number of reasons, I could see the writers pushing Yui to appear earlier in the plot for any number of story reasons, or just to sell more merch, and I really hope that doesn't happen. Number 3, Argo. And no, not the movie, I'm talking about Argo. You know, the Argo, that standout character from episode 3 of the anime, Argo. Yeah, I had to look up who this was too. In the original series, this character wasn't even named in the episode they were introduced. I'm not sure if they're ever actually introduced at all at any point of the series. From what I can gather from scouring early episodes of the original anime, she's an information broker, a beta tester, and gave Kirito info on Santa Claus in episode 3. She looks to be playing a part in this new trailer, so interested to see how she fits into floor 5 at a point where info is really only now starting to flow in about differences between the beta and current SAO. Number 4, Laughing Coffin. So, maybe a hot take. I don't like Laughing Coffin. I think their whole arc in the anime and how former members of Laughing Coffin tried to continue the permadeath aspect of SAO and GGO was kind of a cheap plot point to build an entire arc around. This might just be me, but I don't think permadeath is a necessary element of these stories if the story itself is well fleshed out. Just looking at SAO Alternative is proof enough of that, and even Alfheim to some extent showed that we can care about the results of a battle or confrontation without necessitating life or death risk. So my hope here is that the motivations of Laughing Coffin are really explored, and the threat they pose to the clearers and players of SAO are accurately represented. How do I know they'll be in it? Well, I don't really, but the plot synopsis here mentions player killers, so who else could it be? But you know what else it mentions? 5. Floor 5. Mazes, ghosts, and spooky weird things. Floor 5, according to the synopsis of the film that I found thanks to this video here that I will also link below, says Kirito and Asuna will be exploring an underground graveyard full of ghosts that Asuna struggles to deal with. This could either mean A, that Asuna's skill tree is not adept at handling ghost enemies, or B, Asuna is afraid of ghosts, which I think is not only way more likely, but also going to be way more fun to watch. The images we get in the poster and the trailer don't seem to be overly ghosty, but they are certainly weird. This looks to be like a giant golem, thus underground, archaeological, and a bit of a spooky maze monster, and then this alchemic monster, beast, fish, horse, zebra thing, which is stunning and cool at the same time. If they play their cards right, then this film has every opportunity to blow us out of the water and entertain with some excellent character moments and battles. So, what do you think's gonna happen? And if you've read the light novels, then what do you want to see adapted? Just please be gentle with the spoilers. Anyway guys, see you in the next video. I'll definitely be covering the next movie when it comes out, and hope you have a nice day. Peace.